Okay, today we are diving deep into a topic that gets talked about a lot but is, let's be honest, rarely understood. Why exactly does egg quality change over time? We're going to get into the incredible science behind one of the most fundamental processes in human biology. So let's just get right into it. You've heard it a million times, right? The whole taking biological clock thing. All the focus is on the number of eggs someone has left. But what if I told you that's really only half of the story? The true hero in the fertility narrative, the real game changer, isn't just quantity. It's something way, way more important: quality. Yeah, this quote just nails it. Fertility is not just a numbers game, plain and simple. It's the health of an egg, its biological integrity, you could say, that really determines its potential. So for the next few minutes, that's exactly what we're going to focus on: the quality and the pretty profound science behind it all. To really understand egg quality, we have to start with a fact about these cells that is, frankly, mind-blowing. This is where the whole story of aging and fertility really begins. Think about this for a second. Unlike almost every other cell in your body that's constantly renewing itself, your eggs don't. The eggs you have in your 30s or 40s, they're the exact same ones you were born with. They've been on this journey with you from day one, which makes them your oldest cells, and that makes them uniquely vulnerable to the effects of time. So here's the crucial point. As these really old cells age, the risk of them having chromosomal errors goes up. Now, there's a scientific term for this. It's called aneuploidy. All it means is having the wrong number of chromosomes. And this one concept, aneuploidy, is pretty much the key to understanding almost everything about age-related changes in fertility. So how does this happen? How do these errors creep in? To get that, we need to follow an egg on its epic, decades-long journey, a journey that you'll see involves a very, very long pause. This timeline just shows how incredible the process is. The special kind of cell division that makes eggs, it's called meiosis, it actually starts when you're still a fetus in the womb. But then it slams on the brakes. It hits pause for decades. The whole process is frozen in a specific stage until puberty. And then it only starts back up one egg at a time, each month with ovulation. And this long, long waiting period, well, that's where the challenges start to creep in. And that brings us right to the heart of it all. What is actually happening during those decades on pause that causes the rate of these chromosomal errors, that aneuploidy we talked about, to go up so dramatically over time? Well, the science has pretty much narrowed it down to two main culprits. First, the physical stuff holding the chromosomes together just starts to break down. And second, the cell's own internal security system, its quality control, gets less effective as time goes on. Let's break down each of these. Okay, so inside the egg, you've got these chromosome pairs, and they're bundled together by a protein called cohesion. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like they're being held together by tiny molecular hair ties. It's a great visual, right? It just keeps everything neat and organized while the egg is just waiting. But you can imagine, after 20, 30, even 40 years, those little molecular hair ties can get kind of brittle and weak. So when the egg finally gets the signal to wake up and finish dividing, those chromosomes might not separate correctly. They get pulled apart unevenly, one side gets too many, the other gets too few, and that right there is exactly how aneuploidy happens. Now, the second reason is just as fascinating. Eggs have this amazing built-in quality control system. Think of it like a security checkpoint. In a younger egg, this checkpoint is like a super strict security guard, checking every ID, making sure every chromosome is perfectly lined up before it lets the division go ahead. But in an older egg, well, that security guard can get a little sleepy, a little less strict, and it starts letting some errors slip right through the gate. And here you can see the real-world impact of all this. The data is, well, it's pretty stark. In your early 30s, maybe 10 to 25% of eggs might have this issue. But by your 40s, that number jumps to 50% or even higher. It's a direct statistical reflection of those weakening hair ties and that sleepy security guard we just talked about. So why does all this matter so much? Well, because aneuploidy is the single leading biological reason for early miscarriage, for failed IVF implantation, and for certain developmental disorders. It's not about the body failing in some way. It's all about that chromosomal balance inside that tiny single cell. Now, I know hearing all of this can feel a little bit heavy, but the goal here is not to create pressure. It's actually the exact opposite. It's about understanding the biology, because when you understand it, that's where the power lies. This right here is the key takeaway. Knowing the why, the science of the chromosome glue and the security checkpoints, it demystifies the whole process. It turns that vague anxiety into real knowledge, and that lets you have more informed conversations and make more informed decisions. This isn't a personal failure. It's just remarkable, predictable biology doing its thing. So let's try to reframe this entire story. It's not a story of decline. It's a story of endurance. These tiny cells have been waiting patiently, some of them for decades. They've been on this incredible, long, slow, delicate journey, paused in time from before you were even born all the way through your life. And I really want to leave you with this final thought. Your egg isn't a problem that needs to be solved. If anything, she's a testament to a biological process that is nothing short of a miracle. A process of just waiting and working quietly for decades. And now you finally understand her story. Thanks so much for joining me.